Peace fam, this is the Everyday Entrepreneur with Coach T, your brand amplifier. This is where everyday entrepreneurs get real coaching, real strategy, and real amplification. Let's get to your next level. What's going on, y'all? Coach T here, and welcome to the Everyday Entrepreneur, where we celebrate you, your everyday voices, your everyday opportunities, your everyday people. We help you to be more seen, more heard, and become more you. Man, oh my gosh, today I cannot wait to share energy, man, with some ladies that I have been sharing energy with for quite some time now. I met you guys about a year ago, I believe, at this point, or something like that. And we've been doing the thing ever since, meeting in a lot of different circles, but all with the same amazing, supportive, and loving energy. So we've got Queen Markia and we got Queen Navy of NM LEGACI, right? Marketing. And I want them to tell you their story. So I'm just going to introduce them to you by saying, welcome, Queens. Welcome here today. Thank you so much for saying yes, taking the time out of your day to be here. And let's get this thing going, baby. So I would love to get you guys going on telling us who you are, first individually, and then as a unit in your business.
All right. Well, I'm Markia, and I'm one half of NM LEGACI Marketing.
I'm Navy, and I'm the other half.
Okay. Yes.
And I love telling our backstory. Ooh. That's why she made it go first. But I love anytime we get to tell our backstory. So, me and Navy actually bonded through the RBA Black Farmers Market.
Okay.
I am a volunteer harlot, and RBA Black Farmers Market is her baby. And that was in 2020. I seen a post, didn't know her from a can of paint. I just know I like to do a lot of work here in the city. And I seen it, I was like, I want to help. Sent a DM, showed up the second market, and we've been stuck together ever since. Yep. And then 2022, we met at, we went to Lulu's for brunch. Because I remember hitting her up saying, hey, I just want to like bounce some ideas off, because at this point we're friends, we locked in. I want to bounce some ideas off of you of different things that I'm looking to do personally on the business side of things. And in the midst of us talking, we realized I was already doing social media education with entrepreneurs, just showing them how to navigate the space and everything. Yeah. She was already taking on clients and doing posting and all that. And she said, yo, why don't we come together? I've always had a vision of a woman-owned marketing firm. And I was like, let's do it, because the need was growing.
Yeah.
Over our bandwidth was starting to do stretch. And I was like, let's do it. That was in February 2022, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah, I've been killing it.
Celebrated 4 years in business this year.
Wow, 4 years. 4 years. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, birthday. Y'all better stop playing with us. Did you hear the crowd? Man, don't play with us. And they was ready. That's what I'm talking about, man. I love us. Wow. Yeah. Man, 4 years in business. That is electrifying. And it's crazy, man, because I remember how much shifting happened when I was 4 years in my business. I am only a couple years ahead of you at 6 years in my business celebrating. And I remember when I was at 4 years in my business and the amount of just explosive shifting that happened when you kind of get it and you realize, you know, you're beyond just, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. You know what I mean? From certain perspectives, especially a mindset and experience perspective, right? So no, I completely get that. But I gotta back this thing up, ladies. I've got to back this thing up. You absolutely killed it, because I asked you who you were, how you served, and you gave me exactly how this baby became born. But I need to bring it back, because the people want to know who the people behind the baby. Who the people behind the baby? Marquette, who you is, girl? Who you is? The people want to know, right? So listen, here's the thing about business and branding and all of the things, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how good our products are, how much we can serve one another, right? You guys in a marketing firm, you understand this, right? It matters if they like you enough to spend their money with you.
Right.
Really
right?
is.
It matters the relationships that you build as a result of the energy that you share together, right?
That's it.
And that comes from what? Telling your story,
right.
sharing who you are. So I'm gonna give y'all another chance at this thing. No, I'm seriously, it's not another chance because honestly, I didn't ask it, but I would love to ask now.
Yeah.
Sis, who are you as the woman?
So me as a woman, I'm a mom. I always start there.
Oh, yes.
And that's another way we bonded. We're both boy moms.
Okay.
So I have a 10-year-old.
Me too. Okay.
Yes.
Boy moms. Yes. Boy moms.
So with that, I am a volunteer holic. I say it all the time. I love to do work in our city.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work with Community 50/50. I volunteer with so many other orgs. Again, that's how we bonded. I love to do whatever I can to support our city, any opportunities I can.
Yes.
I also I do so much. But I went to school for mass comm, so I'm a VCU alum.
Okay.
And I graduated in 2010. And one of the bigger things, which also kind of led us to this route, is I started to realize the opportunities. I had to create my own opportunities to utilize my mass comm degree.
Yeah.
And so while I was trying to help companies with marketing and all that good stuff, I kind of delved into some of the nonprofits I work with, helping them navigate social media. And that's been a lot of fun. And then the biggest thing is just wanting to, again, I keep moving back here because it's so embedded into my life and my mission. But a lot of the reason why our name business is what it is because N is for Navy, M is for Marquia, but legacy, because we want to leave a legacy for our sons.
Yes.
We both bonded because we also came together as single moms, but we know we're professionals. We have skills that we can contribute to the world. And a lot of it, sometimes doesn't fit that box on a corporate side of things, but we know we're good at what we do and need the flex and want the flexibility of sorts. So, when I'm not volunteering with the community, when I'm not supporting our clients, I'm with my family, I'm traveling, I'm a trainer with my job. So I just got back from
wear a lot of hats.
I wear a lot of hats.
You wear a lot of hats.
So, and I'm really grateful for where I am because I prayed for things to line up this way.
Yes.
And,
and here we are.
And like you said, with 4 years, things just, when I say we hit January 1 and stuff just blew up.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes,
and still
definitely
being able to do the things that I love. Is a blessing.
A blessing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Queen Navy, talk to me. Who are you? I mean, listen. When we take the earrings off, right, and the glasses, to our bare, who we are to ourselves. I'd like for you to share to people. So that they get to know you, the person, please.
Well, I also juggle a lot of things. Wear so many hats, but to start, I'm a mom.
Yes.
That's first. And I mentioned that first is because I found out I was pregnant in 2020.
Wow.
As soon as I started my farmer's market.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of stuff going on. I met Marquia around the same time. So all of those things kind of happened, at once, and was a true test to, everything that I've become, was the catalyst to everything that I am now. But without that, and it's funny because I can't even see my life now without NM Legacy, without the market. I don't even remember what my life was before that, but I can tell you, I'm a storyteller. I'm a writer. I'm an artist.
Yes.
That's what I am first. I'm also very much an earth child. I love being outside. I love putting my hands in the dirt, which is how I ended up starting the market. During the pandemic. Backstory on that real quick. My mom got laid off. Everybody got laid off. It was, it was the pandemic. Everybody was getting out of work, and she moved back to Richmond. We did a nice garden. We live in Churchill. We had a beautiful urban garden in our yard. And I'm just out there meditating, my feet and my hands in the dirt. And I just got this idea to do this market. I wanted to bring Black farmers together, to teach, to educate, so that we can get produce from people that we know, that we trust, that look like us. And that's how, it came off the ground. And I didn't know it would grow to be as big, as it did. I didn't know how impactful it was going to be to the community.
Yes.
It was just something that was on my heart to do.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that so many other people, would see the vision like Markia and want to help me, bring that together, And I did not know that I was going to have this baby. And, and that came around. And so, but at my core, and ended up, how I ended up in the marketing space, I also like to get people to tell their stories.
Yes.
I understand that, yes, you're not just buying the product or the service.
Absolutely.
You have to like and trust the people that you're, getting stuff from.
Got it.
And I like to tell our clients, especially, or just anybody that we work with,
we
like to get them comfortable to tell their stories.
Yeah,
just like you.
exactly.
We like to get them comfortable being in front of the camera, and things like that. And just being able to create their mission and make it their brand story and amplify it as best as we can. And just me having just that background just in writing and storytelling. Also a mass comm. I have an English degree with a mass comm minor and now an MBA. So, it's a whole lot of different aspects. But for me, I'm that one that's going to push you forward.
Yeah.
I'm that one that's going to make you do what you say you're going to do. If you have this idea, like when me and Markia met, we went to Lulu's. She wanted to tell me about her nonprofit, Altogether Beautiful.
Yeah.
And she didn't know how to start. And I'm like, okay, start.
Yeah.
And I gave her homework. And she's like, what do I? I'm like, get a space. You know what you want to do. Go find a space for the event. Set a date. Put it out.
Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
By the numbers, baby. Yes, I love that.
I love
that.
And I'm that person. I'm the dream pusher. So
all right.
I don't think.
All right. So you're the executioner.
Yeah.
Right. And what would you say you are? Are you the visionary here? Are you the person? Yeah, please.
I'm a mixture of both. I'm a cheerleader. I love to cheer people on.
Yes.
Nice.
And I love to just be a worker bee. Like, I love bringing the vision to life.
Okay.
And so sometimes you need a combination of both. Somebody that's gonna put the gas in the car and a person that's gonna drive.
Yes.
She is the gas.
You the
She's
gas.
Like, I don't know where we're going, Markia, but let's just go.
Let's go.
And I'm like, oh,
all right. And once you get there and you're settled, then you're like, okay, cool. Let me handle the things.
I'm like, oh yeah, we got this.
Yes. I love that.
And
what a beautiful partnership.
I feel like that's what makes us work best, because you need somebody, and you got to be okay with being pushed.
Absolutely.
And that's why my event ended up, coming like in the midst of us talking about my event. She was like, let's just do it. She said, she gave me homework. And then she said, why don't we do this? Because I always tell her everything I do. And that's how it, came to be. But you need somebody that's man, listen.
Yeah.
You talking about putting gas in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going, but we're going to do this, Markia. Okay.
We have a picture of us that we're going to give to you so you can put it in the clip somehow. But we have a picture of us and we're jumping. It's like a jump, hey, type picture. And so I'm sky high. Like, you see, I'm little, so I'm like leaping in the air, and my kid, she leaped. But like,
it's right there.
It's the true definition of our dynamic. Like, it truly shows who we are. Like, I'm gonna shoot for the stars. She coming, but
I'm coming.
She coming with me.
And even if I got questions, like, okay, Brenda, and she's like, okay, Markia, what are your questions?
Like, this is
we're still
on the way.
Yeah.
What you need?
What does she need to know?
What you need?
So we can make this happen. I'm like, that's how not so. Okay, I'm asking too many questions. Let's just go.
Let's go. We'll figure it out. I love that. And that, honestly, that's so special.
Yeah.
That's so special to be able to have one another for that, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's ask the real stuff, because people really want to know, right? The synergy of the relationship and the synergy of the collaborations that come along with a great friendship, that's great. But what happens when there's some conflict, there's some attitude? Y'all is 2 Black women. Y'all is 2 Black women. We want the tea. Okay? We want the tea. But seriously, and I know that you guys do it well, because I can tell your energy. There's so much a respect and mutual love for one another. You can tell that. But give me an example of a time, like you're in an interview, right? Tell me about a time. Give me an example of a time where, maybe personalities clashed in a way that you guys had to take some time, maybe come back and figure that thing out.
Do we have any of those?
I feel like we worked through a lot.
Right,
that's what I'm asking. Okay. Show me how you work through it. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like there was an idea.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I'm pleased because this was like, because now we know how to like read each other that we, you know, but I feel like it was something that you suggest. And like I said, I am the question person, right? And I think I asked in some kind of way, I said, she was like, well, dang, Marquia, I just had an idea. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. but and you know, one thing I can say, you have to learn how to take accountability. And one of the things I'm taking this from my job too, because we're training our agents within customer service and how to engage with our clients, with our customers without being like defensive. And one of the things that we put in there is assume good intent. At the core of it, I know that any suggestion, even if I don't agree with it, even if I, you know, even if, you know, our natural response sometimes may be sharp. And because we're just thinking off the cuff, you have to assume good intent. And then also be okay with reinforcing that. So she was like, okay, well, I just had an idea. I just thought I needed you. I was like, oh, no,
I didn't mean it like that.
And the reason why I said it also because we text, but most of our thread is voice notes. So we were sending voice notes back and forth. And you know, as women, tone is everything. Right? And so I didn't even, you know, I didn't know, but I know when I just, you know, I'll fire off questions because we workshopping ideas. And I think it came off like, I was like, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. But it brought back to also just be aware when you're kicking back ideas. There's nothing wrong with, you know,
just kind of
giving feedback or talking it out or being okay with not agreeing, but being able to communicate. I don't know if that'll work, and then saying why, and working through that. I think made it easier versus us just being like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And she was like,
but we meet in the middle very well. You know,
that is so good to hear. That is so good to hear.
A lot of disagreements because we talk things out, and I think because we send a lot of audio messages. I mean, they'd be like podcasts. We'd be talking. But because we send a lot of audio messages, it gives us the opportunity to think about what we're saying as we're saying.
I love that.
You know,
I love that.
So it's like we.
And you can hear that. You can hear that thought process even in the voice notes.
And then
the
also,
tone, the energy, all the things is there. That's absolutely awesome. You guys, seriously, your energy, you can tell that it's genuine and sincere. You know, you can tell that you've got such an amazing friendship. And it's because of this, right? You've just said it, the most important things to me, right? I do want to make sure before we go to the next part that I say something because I felt something and I want to make sure I call it out, right? Queen Marquia, you said, because I'm the questions person. And you said it just like that, right? Shoulders down and everything. Everybody do it with me. Because I'm the questions person, right? Did you feel that? And so, listen, I'm going to take the coaching moments where I can see it, right? Because I believe that the questions person is like, I'm the questions person. Right? And if that's not the energy you feel, that I just want to empower you to know, like, what? When you ask questions, you break this thing down, you allow us, right? And maybe like, yes, sir.
Because
yes, sir. Tell her. Right? She needs you. She needs you. And so I just want to make sure you know, because you know she needs you, right? But when you say, I'm the questions person, it gives off the appearance that you think you're asking too many questions, right? And I want everyone to hear that the only one person in the room that thinks that is you. She values what you're saying in the questions, right? You're helping her to be more strategic in thought and helping your business to grow, right? Like literally, I ask a million questions. That's what I do. I do it very well, right? And I used to didn't. And I remember when I was like that, when I was like, let me tell you what you need. Like, oh, cocky and shit, right? Let me tell you what you need. And he was like, nah, I don't need that. And I was like, oh, right. You know, and so I had to be humbled. And then I realized, okay, well, let me ask some questions, right? And so leaders ask questions. I'm going to just pause right there. Okay. And so, yes, ma'am, receive that. So it's not even about the questions. It's not even about the fact that you do. It's about how you feel about the fact that you're asking them. And we need to shut that down. So there's no more, I'm asking questions. We ain't cripping down. We're saying, let's ask some questions. Let's knock on the door of a couple places. Make sure this thing is airtight with some confidence. And, you know, raise your chest up with it. Okay.
I will.
All right. I'm gonna leave that alone, but I had to say that because, girl, questions are amazing.
Yes.
Right? It helps you to grow.
Yeah.
It helps you to grow. You need to know your power, sis. You need to know your power. So keep asking them questions in the same way that you do because she loves it.
Yes. Because how, like you said, how do we grow without
Yes.
that? It does help you to think about other things. You think things I didn't think about.
Yes.
To add, more to.
That's perfect. You guys are the perfect combo, right? You just got to know where you are in that with those questions, man. Those are powerful. The other thing that I had was something that I think you said it. I'm not sure because you guys are in the same energy and I just love it. But you said as women, tone is everything.
Yeah.
Right? And that couldn't be more true. Couldn't be more true. And so the fact that you guys send voice notes, right, versus text messages, it's because you understand that when tone is not understood, a text message, man, it can be misconstrued. Right. And that is such an amazing lesson, even beyond partnerships and relationships and friendships and definitely in business, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that your tone comes across. And if you don't, and if there's some misunderstanding, like possibility that there is sometimes, that you come back, oh, I didn't mean it like that, right? Yeah. And so tone is everything. So thank you for that little, piece because that's a gem that you're giving to the people, right? Yeah. And that's a big part of marketing.
Yes.
Right? That's a big part of marketing. Yeah. Which really leads me to what I want to know, which is like, you guys is every day, who's your client? Who are you looking to serve on a regular basis? And what's your specialty when you're serving them?
So I would service nonprofits. We specialize in nonprofit organizations. We started, really with just nonprofits and small businesses who truly, they know they need social. They know the importance of social, but they don't want to do it necessarily.
Yeah.
Social is a job. When you're running a business, that's what you want to do. You want to run the business. You want to build the business. Yes. And to have to think about making your content, scheduling it, the type of content you create, what time you post it, who my audience is. Yes. That's an additional job on top of building the business. Indeed. And so we put the service together for that person. That's our client.
Very good.
The client who wants to dedicate their time to making their business grow and not have to think about how they're going to market their brand. We take that off their hands. But again, we also specialize in nonprofit organizations because, it's a different field. Our main client is the trauma healing response. Now, I don't want to say main because we have multiple, but our longest client is the Trauma Healing Response Network. And they are a network of 38 individual nonprofits.
Okay.
So we're building a big ecosystem, on their social. And we also realize that in doing this for nonprofits, they are, donations-based, grant-based, things like that. So the social media ends up becoming their digital portfolio. Yeah. In a way, the folks that they're, getting funding from, they like to see on their social what everybody's doing.
That's great.
So we take the time, we go to their events, all of them, as many as I don't want to say all, but as many as we can. Mm-hmm. We go to their events, we get the content, post it on the page, that they show up to the meetings, and then for our clients outside of that, same thing. We show up to their events, things like that. We build content days, like this one where we're like just going to get content all day. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. We help to maximize their exposure, their brand exposure, tell their stories online so that they don't have to. So I guess our audience will be, or our client, ideal client, is the people who get that, who really just want to relax with this thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to touch the social. They want to get somebody else to do it. And here we are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. And great answer of putting it all together, like the journey of it, right? Yeah. And how just with this one major client, you've got the opportunity to have so many other sub relationships and probably haven't taken advantage of that already, right? Yeah. Right. And so like, wow, that's absolutely how it should go, especially when you're doing good work, right? When you're doing that good work. And so, so for people that are not nonprofits, how do they engage with you? Now here may or may not be a plug for your conferences or anything else that could, that you guys got going on, right? And so I understand very well, okay, you guys help nonprofits and you killing it for them, right? And you're growing. And this year, like you said, January, we are in March, right? As we record this, it's been explosive growth and it's year 4. So it should be that, right? Mm-hmm. But man, we see you guys out everywhere and so many people that, are in the spaces that you're in. We've seen that they're profit and nonprofit, right? So what you got for the people? What you got for
Yes. So we also support small business and startups. So they can engage with us through our website and set up consultations and all that good stuff. Amongst that, we have a number of other services we offer. We offer strategy sessions. So some people that have a hand on their socials, they just need to sit down and brainstorm and workshop and create their content calendar, all that good stuff. So we sit with clients that just want somebody to set up a roadmap. We also get contracted out to shoot events for some people, because some people, they have the social, they just need somebody to get the content so they can actually be in it. So we cover events. We have workshops, as we talked about earlier. So we get asked to go speak at conferences. We're actually speaking at one for the Virginia Department of Health coming up at the end of the month. For nonprofits. As well. So we get asked to go and do conferences. We do workshops. We just did a boot camp workop last year here. With right here at my selfie. Shout out to the My Selfie Museum. Let's go. We y'all see the room? You see the space? Not the blue room. Not the boom boom room. The blue. Come on now. So we have that, and then we have our reoccurring events. We have the content cookout, where we bring in content creators, and they do panels, we do Q&A, we shoot content, we have vendors. You can network, backdrops. We do our holiday content mixer. Same setup, except we do one speaker. Shout out to Erica, who was our speaker this past year. Very cool. And, place where people can drop gems and connect with others. We've literally seen clients. One of our clients from the Child Human Response Network, she's now our client, the Circle of Healing, ended up connecting with someone else. And now she has a whole workshop series, and they met at our holiday content mixer. Oh my gosh, look at that. So our mission of bringing people together is, and then our biggest baby, which is our second annual Digital Impact Conference. And that's going to be a 3-day situation of just space where people can connect. Maybe if you want to talk a little bit more about the breakdown.
I'll take the alley-oop. Yes. All right. So the Digital Impact Conference, again, this is our second one. Like you mentioned, this is a 3-day experience. So the first day is lights, camera, content. This is about social media in the entertainment business. And we are partnering with our guy, Chris Mouse from Critics of Culture. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. That's my guy. Yes. So he does a lot of work with Carl Jones, Martian Blueberry. Carl Jones was the producer of the Boondocks. He also has, he does memes. He says he has a meme page, but it kind of is, but it's like, but that meme page has stretched far and wide. He does a lot of work in collaboration with Charlamagne the God. Got to work on a comic with him, things like that. So Chris is coming to help us out with the Lights Camera Concept. So he's going to be a big part of that.
Big deal. Big deal. Yes.
That's going to be a panel. We have some awesome local folks in marketing and entertainment from Richmond that's going to be a part of the panel. And then we'll have a special guest as well.
Very good.
We're going to drop that name at some point. We don't want to give it away too early. We'll drop the name out. And our second day is our workshop day. So this is when we have multiple marketing experts, whether it's AI, SEO, anything, data analytics, all of those things. These speakers are coming, 4 of them, and they're going to come and do workshops all day. That is what Saturday is. So Saturday, you're going to come, you're going to get the knowledge. You're going to get those things that you need to continue to grow your business. Or if you're working as a digital marketing manager for, a 9 to 5, you're going to be able to bring that home to work with you, continue to grow. And then the next day is just our networking hour. So we're going to bring everybody back together, have a moment of fellowship, be able to network with everybody, see what opportunities we could get from working with others, continue to build relationships and partnerships.
I love that.
And all that stuff. And all of it's at Stony Point Fashion Park.
At Stony Point. So y'all heard it, at Stony Point. And what are the dates for that?
May 22nd through 24th.
May 22nd through the 24th. 3-day experience at Stony Point. And it's the second annual Digital Impact Conference, right? Yeah. Wow. So that means you've already did one, you did well, it works, and now you're looking at 10X at the next year. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You guys got a lot of awesome stuff going on, man. And I really, really love that. There's a lot of energy and synergy going you guys' way. And that's a really good thing. So what you need, let me just ask you that as we close this thing out, as you're moving, as you're growing in your business, right? Or as you're helping so many different groups of people, then as you continue to grow, scale, what is it that you need most in your business right now? What challenges are you having as you continue to move forward?
You want me to say?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know one of the things that we're working on is growing the team. We are growing our team of interns. We have one, and we have another one that'll be coming on in summer. Because as the bandwidth grows, we need more. We know we're going to need more hands on deck. So that's one of the things we're working on, and funding the internship program as well, because we're going to offer stipends. The second thing is just continuing to position ourselves for our desired, the top tier clients, is working to position ourselves for them. So that we can have more larger contract retainer clients. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so those are some of the things that we are working through now, and continuing to network and position ourselves and continue to build collaborative partnerships for that piece. And additionally, just working to continue to secure reoccurring sponsors for our events throughout the year. For example, Content Cookout, we're taking out on the road. So that will be, we're working with VSU to bring that to their welcome week or time of school starts. So, working to just secure reoccurring media partnerships and support as we bring those things to life to continue to support, the need here in the city. I mean, we have a lot of amazing creatives and people that are aspiring to go into roles that they're seeing us do. And so we want to continue to be in a position to support that.
I love that. That's such an amazing set of needs, right? Because it's based on and tied to and attached to, once again, such an amazing heart, and so I love that. I love that, man. It's been such a pleasure, like, talking with you guys. I just want to make sure I say that. So, so here's what I, my little 2 cents and a quarter with this, right? All right. So when it comes to continuing to attacking, I won't say attacking. Y'all heard that, right? Because that's what I wrote in my notes. But, when I say attack, I mean like an energetic, a certain amount of energy going towards that, right? So going for your specific clients, right? Tell me a little bit more about that. Let's drill down there for let's just do a quick, 30, 40 seconds on that. So how are you doing that currently?
Currently, we're just reaching out by email, as we meet folks, we're talkers. So, we'll talk to you in person. We're pitching, old-fashioned.
So where are you meeting them?
Networking events.
What kind of a networking events?
Word of mouth is usually how we, get referred the most.
Word of mouth is good. Yeah. Yes, because you're doing the work. Yeah. Right. So the networking events, right? The networking events that you're going to, are they full of your ideal client?
Not always.
Not all the time.
Okay.
I just thought about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so that's really what this boils down to, right? And so when we're spending any of our time anywhere, we want to make sure, especially when it's that business time, that any events, right? Even if we're familiar with the thing and it's a recurring thing, if it's not our ideal client, right, then we may not need to frequent there, right? And we may need to go somewhere else. That's extremely important. That may mean, especially as you're looking to, solidify some reputation with going to that next level of ideal client events, that you're doing the work of finding them, because that means you're not in them right now. Right. So that means that we've got to step it up a level as far as where you at, right, versus where you want to be. Right. Yeah. Your ideal client may not be in those rooms, or if they are, right, you've already probably exasperated, you've wrung that towel, baby. That towel is wrung. It's dry. It's dry. Nothing coming from it. And you're repeating because you're hoping to do the same thing. Girl, ain't that the definition of insanity? Right? And so my suggestion, let's find different events. Let's find different spaces, right? Challenge yourself, right? Yeah. Sometimes what you're looking for is more diversity, right? Expanding your horizons to get out of your neighborhood and sometimes look regional. An hour one way or the other, or going to their networking events and stuff like that, right? Just making yourself more available. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. All right, cool. And I'm going to just leave it right there because they're there. Yeah. They're there. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so, it really always depends on the, how'd you get invited? What is the main, intention of it, and who goes? Yeah. And if you can ask those questions, okay, the people that are going, are they my people, or they're just people I like to have fun with? Because we're going to call them cousins, right? And so cousins and work, that's two different things, right? And so we got to make sure that we're in that right alignment. Yep. And always, right? We got time for cousins, family reunion time, right? And so that's once every now and then. So you want to, if you're going weekly to an event, right? Or if you're scouring to make sure you show up weekly at an event, let's just say once a few times a month that you want to show up, right? Maybe one of those is cousin time, right? Where you go to an event that has a lot of people, gives you a lot of visibility and things like that, where you can, other people can find you. But most of your events, right? 75% of them, 80% of them need to be, with that next level. Right. And they don't exist yet for you.
Yeah.
Right? So you got some homework there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Roger that. And then, so sponsors. So here's something I wanted to say with this, and this is like one of my favorite things to do when it comes to sponsors. It's what I've been like, just kind of pouring into my clients. And, that is year-round relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so with those sponsors, most of those sponsors, they give you a bucket of money, and they may have somebody doing their social media, but not to the level that you do your content, right? And so, that's not what they have. But what about if you gave that to them year round, right? As a result of this sponsorship. So first of all, it will drastically increase the value of that sponsorship package, right? If they know now that they're going to be getting something, they're going to actually be getting something out of this for, let's say, 3-6 months, right? Like a real meaty, juicy teaser, right? And maybe not free, maybe first 3 months, whatever you, right? But definitely deeply discounted, so where they see you and feel you. But what you're giving them is not a social media package, right? It is last year was such an amazing event, still buzzing, right? And it is, something that happened, right? That's old footage, old news, right? And the tag and these things that is like 6 months after the event, right? And you're doing that once a month with everyone, right? And they're in stories and stuff like that, or they're being posted, right? And that relationship goes on. By the time the next event comes, because you've got your runway, right? When it comes to your projects and stuff like that. By the time that next event comes, they're already waiting to stroke a check. Because you have already shown them your relationship and how it continues, right? You see that? Do you feel that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, listen, that has been such a key to me just kind of coaching some of my clients recently of, how to not have to feel like you got to go and find a new set of sponsors for every event. Right? We want relationships that's lock and step, baby. Lock and step, right? Let's walk with me. And that means that we can't just treat this like a, one-time event. And they want to see that up front. And so we got to be able to tell them that and speak articulately and bring it all together and paint that picture and tell that story when we're asking them to spend on that event. But we're telling them the whole, okay, so you spending this investment on this event doesn't just cover you for this, but all year round, this is our dedication to you.
I love that.
What?
I love that. That is perfect.
Bro.
Thank you.
Bro, it works.
Thank you.
Okay? Okay. Listen, but I think you guys are doing amazing. When it comes to growing the team, it's growing these things. Right? That sponsor can become a client like that. And you can wind up doing their social media just because of the stuff that you're still doing on that drip. Right? So you should have a spreadsheet with every daggone old sponsor, everybody, and just start being random and sending them things that they can repost. Because they're not thinking about creating in that way. But you do. Right? And have that thing on a list, right? And give them that. That's for you, family, because you family. By the time I come in October, family. Cousins. Because now we're family now, right? And so bring that, right? It's a continued trip. We want continued relationships. And as we do that, man, I'm telling you, skyrocket. Because that's what's going to allow you to grow. You want your interns and stuff like that. And then go teach them how to build those continued relationships. Okay? Was that helpful?
Amazing.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. It was helpful, y'all. It's helpful. That's what I'm talking about, ladies.
I feel like that's what we were missing. Thank you.
That was literally,
that was the key.
Ooh,
thank
not
you.
the key.
That was the key.
I got the key. I got the key. That is so great, man. Listen, that's amazing to hear. But seriously, I think you guys are killing it. And when you put this key together and all of this stuff comes together, you guys are going to just skyrocket because you're right there, right? How do you keep the continued relationships going? How do you make sure that it's not a one-time? No one wants transactional.
And we thrive off of relationships, and that's what matters the most to us. So continuing to secure good relationships and know that it's definitely a reciprocal type of thing. And it's just our thing was how do we build that in that area, because we are
we can do it.
That is the one area how do we bring them in and hold their hand?
Go give.
So,
go give.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be looking, man, it's about a cadence of about every 2 weeks we're getting something to be able to send. And they not asking me for anything.
Right.
That's how you get it. You attract them. You make them want to come to you and say, what you got going on over there? That's how you get it. You don't look for it. You wait for it to come to you, but you make sure you're putting that work in. Yeah. And so listen, y'all, this has been an amazing conversation. I appreciate y'all so much for allowing me to just like pick your brains, talk to you more and deeper, right? Here is something that I learned about y'all that, that I didn't know previously. You guys, in addition to all of the synergy and energy you have, you've got a bond as a result of the resilience, as a result of being single parents, right? So boy moms, hello.
Yeah.
Listen, my baby is 20. He is 20, but I've had those times of being a single mom, right? And being in the military and doing so many different things, right? Juggling. And you guys are doing it well. But this is the last thing I'll say on my way out of here, right? As you look towards success, you're going to have to trim. You're going to have to trim. You're going to have to learn to let go, right? And the easier, the quicker you start to do it, the better. And so, because you want to make sure your time is yours, right? And we all do, right? We all want to make sure our time is ours. And so, as much as you can fire yourselves, do it out of the space, out of other things, extracurriculars that's taken away from your goals. Because man, the more and more I start to fire myself in certain things in my business and letting other people do it, and I focus on my zone of genius, oh my gosh. My zone of genius is bringing the energy to a room, right? And then from that point, being able to coach them strategically to help them to move forward in their business, right? And so bringing that in, tapping into that and staying in that zone, you guys got the same thing. Stay in your zone. So as many relationships that you can build, continue to kill it, right? And remember, it is relationship building. So year round. And that's what it is. Finding yourself in different rooms and building relationships from there. All right. Guys, listen, this has been great. Thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in for another episode of The Everyday Entrepreneur. We were going to have this one going out sometime in April, but y'all heard that event, right? I need y'all to show up. I'm going to be there. I'm sure I'm going to be there. Y'all going to be there. May 22nd through the 24th. The second annual Digital Impact Conference, right? Did I get it right? Y'all heard it. Show up, beat us there. That's it.